Coach Matt here. I'm going to tell you about the CrossFit Competitors Prep Program. So this is 2 years worth of CrossFit programming, and it's especially designed for people who want to be competitors in CrossFit, doing CrossFit competitions, also doing the CrossFit Open. And so this is a pretty high level program. Even if you scale this down to the lowest level that you can scale it, it's still going to be a pretty advanced program. And if you do it as it's written out exactly, it's a very tough program. Pretty high volume stuff, very intense workouts. So this program is broken up into 9 different phases. Each phase has a slightly different emphasis, and they all sort of build off of each other. And in fact, the first 4 phases make up what would be 1 year of training. And this is a little bit more of an on-ramp program. It's all a bunch of different exercises that are breaking down the fundamental movements, all of the fundamental movements involved in CrossFit exercises. You know, one of the ideas with CrossFit is it's constantly varied. You have to kind of be ready for anything. You have to be very cardiovascularly fit, but also you have to have max strength and power ability as well. And you might have to demonstrate your ability in both of those domains in a single event. So you got to be ready for everything. And actually what the first phase, the first year of programming, I actually have it very much where we're not really abiding by the constant variation theme. And in fact, you're going to cycle through the same routine 6 times in a row and be exposed to the same exact workouts 6 times in a row. I think that's really important from the start. I don't really believe in going right into constant variation. I think at first you need to do skill development. You can't do constant variation on high skill movements when you don't even have the skills yet. You need to develop those skills first and practice them. Even if you're at a high level with those skills, I think it's really important to make sure that you're getting enough consistency in your training on any given skilled movement. So that's what that first year is designed to do. And, so phase 1, it takes, for example, we're building up to doing squat snatches, right? Okay, so by phase 4, you're doing full squat snatches. But at phase 1, we're breaking that squat snatch into its compartments. So phase 1 includes doing, for instance, just the overhead squats, and then it involves doing like hang power snatches where you're breaking that movement apart. But then the complexity of the movement builds each phase onto phase 4, where you're then doing the full movement. And that is true for all of the highest skill movements in CrossFit. Those skills are going to be introduced, basic versions of the skills, at phase 1, and then it's going to build up. And then by phase 4, you're going to be fully introduced and have practiced at least 6 cycles worth of all of the main CrossFit skilled movements, gymnastics and Olympic lifts. You're also, by phase 4, you will have been progressively exposed to the high cardiovascular movements, and each of the things like rowing and biking, you'll have been exposed to that exercise by itself. And then by phase 4, you will have combined 2 or maybe even 3 of those different modalities together, and also starting to include, or more and more so, you're including the skilled movements into your cardiovascular workouts. Because I think it's best to practice the skill in a non-cardiovascular setting first, and then you introduce it into the cardio. Something like that snatch. If your fitness is not very high and you don't have the skill of the snatch down very well, then let's be honest, you have no business trying to do a high cardio workout that involves the snatch movement. So you need to work on that first, and then over time, you're building that into your WODs. Okay, then once you get to phase 5, at this point, we're really focusing on what do the workouts look like in the open? And we're building up to phase 9. By phase 9, you're going to be doing full run-throughs of open style WOD workouts. These are the ones that, and basically what I did is I looked through all of the years of the open and looked at all of the workouts, and you're basically practicing all of these workouts. So phase 5 and 6 kind of break the movements down piece by piece and get you used to doing a single movement by itself and building up in the amount of volume that you'll ultimately be needing to do to be competitive with the full workouts. But then phases 7, 8, and 9 progressively build you up and have you practicing those workouts themselves. So you're going to be doing about 7 months worth of just practicing the WODs, or that's your main focus. But then we're also having to continue to develop your pure strength, your max lift. So you're going to be doing max lifts and some other skill work as well. But by phase 7, 8, and 9, this is your kind of specialization phase where you're really focusing on your ability to do a single workout and really go hard on a single workout. So this is a pretty ambitious program here, and I'm really pumped about it. I'm going to give you a little bit more information about each of the particular phases and each of the workouts. I'm going to do that in another video, but this is just the overview. The thing I'll show you is, so the link to this is on a Google Sheet, and if you look at this sheet, if you look down, there's tabs. There's a bunch of different tabs. Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3, etc. up to Phase 9. And you'll see, if you click on each of those tabs, it takes you to the next phase. And each of these phases, they have a little bit of a different format. So like I said, in a separate video, I'm going to talk about breaking down each of those phases and explaining exactly how you read that sheet. But do note this: for each individual exercise, you can click on the link and get a brief demonstration on that exercise and how to do it. Some of them are left blank because I don't have videos for them yet, but if you have any questions on what these are, or any further questions, my email is listed on the workout sheets. Also note that you see up to phase 9, and then you see a tab that says day by day, and this is a different way to look at or write out the way I had the previous sheets written out. So like if you look at phase 1, this is like 8 weeks or more worth of programming, 6 cycles. And so you kind of read it by going, okay, cycle 1, session 1, you read down then that first column, and that tells you what you do on session 1, cycle 1. Scrolling down, you go to session 2, cycle 1, that's your next workout, okay? And then you go through all 6 of the sessions, you come back up then to the top on cycle 2, and that's how you read that. But on the end tab here, it's talking about, I basically copied for each day, and it goes through the days what is happening on that particular workout. So click on those other videos for more details on what's happening on each phase and a little bit more explanation for why I'm including what I'm including in this programming, because there's a particular reason why everything is there and why it's in this order. So more on that on the other video.